What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. In this video, we're going to be going over a recap of Game 4 of the Pacific Division Finals between the Abbotsford Canucks and the Colorado Eagles. Unfortunately, Abbotsford was not able to advance to the Western Conference Final. They had the opportunity to knock out the Colorado Eagles and eliminate them in Game 4, having taken a 2-1 series lead in Game 3, winning it in overtime. But they were unable to get the job done. They were unable to put it away, and the Colorado Eagles were able to defeat the Abbotsford Canucks by a score of 3-1, which now forces a do or die Game 5, which will be on Monday. So the series is tied 2-2, winner take all. This is a 5-game series. So once again, do or die, Game 5. So let's go ahead and let's break it down right now. This breakdown is brought to us from our friends at Canucks Army, in particular Dave Hall. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. It was a win and you're in scenario for the Abbotsford Canucks on Friday night. After a thrilling 3-2 overtime victory in Game 3, the Canucks were just one win away from punching their ticket to a Western Conference final appearance for the first time in franchise history. And with a 12-0-1 and 0 record on the road that dates back to February, history was on their side to lock things up and head home for series number 4. Unfortunately, Abby elected to keep things interesting and give their fan base a do or die match to enjoy on Monday afternoon. More on that towards the end of this video. Once again, the team allowed the game's first goal and spent the remainder of the night playing catch-up. While starts had been an issue for this team for most of the postseason, this game felt like that sluggish start haunted them until the final buzzer. Anytime they'd find their legs, even slightly, the Colorado Eagles would push back. But hey, Colorado was the best team in the American Hockey League for a reason. With the loss and the season on the line, everything lines up for a thrilling battle on Monday afternoon for a must-win game in Loveland, Colorado. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Game 4. The Abbotsford Canucks won Game 3, and with most of the team healthy, still no Atu Ratu, Manny Malhotra ran near identical lines for Game 4, with a small swap of Linus Karlsson and Danila Klemovic. First line was Baines, Sasson, and Lakramaki. Second line was Blay, Mueller, and Carlson. Third line was Nielsen, Waters, and Klemovic. And then, of course, the fourth line was DiGiuseppe, Cara, and Smith. Your first pairing for defensemen was Breezewall and McWard. Then you had Harissa and Wu. And then, of course, Wolanin and Mancini. And then, of course, you had Archer Silovs in net. Let's look at the first period. Despite eventually winning most games, the Canucks have made an unfortunate habit of starting games slow. Although they failed to score, they appeared to have broken that curse and kicked things off with the game's first chance after a bobbled puck at the blue line. Jujhar Khaira stripped the puck off an Eagles defender to rush up the ice for a clear-cut breakaway. Khaira held for the shot, and Trent Miner stood tall to close the door on the Surrey native. Sure, scoring the game's opening goal would have been nice, but generating chances early was a positive sign. But in the end, it didn't matter. The Eagles still managed to grab the game's opening goal. Colorado would score to make it 1-0. Jean-Luc Foudy from Mark Senden and Hank Kempf. This time it came off a juicy rebound. Jean-Luc Foudy collected the puck from behind the net and threw it on net before Silovs could reset it. With the goal, the Eagles scored first in games 2, 3, and 4, scoring within the first 5 minutes of each game. Jujhar Khaira's chance aside, the away team started slowly after all, and that shot held as the lone chance through the game's first 8 minutes. The Canucks did pick up a solid chance midway through the first period, following the Guillaume Breezewell point shot, with Max Sasson causing havoc at the net front. Trent Miner lost the puck as it trickled down his back to sit alive in the crease. As one of the only players with eyes on the biscuit, Cole McCord made the push to jump on it, but the Eagles were able to stop him in his tracks. Those two plays would represent the team's best chances of the period. However, they did manage to take more possession and nearly even the shot totals by the period's end. There was a positive from the period. The team took no penalties, something they could not say in Game 3 after taking 3 in the initial 20 minutes. Small wins, folks. It's all about the small wins. Final shots in the first period were 8-6 in favor of Colorado. Moving on to the second period. The Canucks spent the initial 5 minutes of the middle frame with little to report. Possession likely favored the Eagles, but neither team mustered anything dangerous. After the 5-minute mark, Abbotsford did manage to grab the game's first power play, and it was an odd one. In the bottom corner, Chris Wagner went down with Max Sasson, but rather than jump back up, he resorted to smothering Sasson for nearly 10 seconds. It was an easy call for the referee, who had given him ample time to get up and move on. The Eagles provided a flawless penalty kill, giving Abbotsford nothing to work with and 0 shots on goal. Moments later, Archer Silovs made his best save of the evening so far. After some good movement to gain entry, the Eagles found an open defender before Silovs flashed the blocker to set the puck aside. Later play saw a lengthy stoppage as the referees went back to take a second and perhaps a 10th and looked at a play that had happened minutes before. A Colorado forward threw the puck from behind the net towards Silovs, who held tight on the post while players jammed away. The netminder looked relatively unsure of the puck's whereabouts. The play was deemed inconclusive. But the Eagles doubled their lead just seconds later anyway. Colorado would score to make it 2-0. Jason Megna from Ty Fellhaber. Right off the faceoff from that extended stoppage, Akito Hirose went to push the puck up the ice. Unfortunately, his pass redirected off a player's skate and went airborne, falling right to the stick of Jason Megna. Catching Silovs off guard, the former Canuck found the corner to double their lead. More importantly for him, he got revenge. Just 48 hours prior, Silovs had stymied him 8 times in Game 3, so this one felt relieving for the veteran. All in all, it was a sloppy and rather uninspiring period for the Canucks. Late in the period, as the team was on the verge of collecting momentum, Danila Klimovich took a very unnecessarily roughing call. Do we think Manny has the same disappointed glare as Rick Tocchet? Perhaps not, but we can report that this was the last we saw of Klimovich on the night. That play sent the Eagles on a late power play and handed back any pressure that the Canucks may have been building, and unfortunately, it may have cost them the game in the end. Colorado would score to make it 3-0. Ty Fellhaber from TJ Tynan and Oscar Olesen. After Max Sasson nearly connected with R.C. Baines for a shorthanded chance, the Eagles transitioned back the other way and made them pay. Going the other way, Colorado broke up 4 strong before TJ Tynan found a trailing Ty Fellhaber. He beat Silovs through the legs for a heartbreaker late in the period. Not only was this Colorado's 3rd goal of the evening, but it also broke the Vancouver Canucks' penalty kill streak, which ended at, it doesn't say, but I think it was at like 20 something. But moving on, one could argue that the hook on Baines, which led to the odd man rush, could have been something, which of course Manny Malhotra argued. Instead, the club found itself down by a trio heading into the final period. In addition to being down 3-0, that goal put an end to the Canucks' penalty killing streak, snapping it at 30 straight. What a run. So there you go. It was at 30, and it finally came to an end. The good news was that the Eagles took a late penalty of their own, which gave the Canucks a complete 2-minute power play to kick things off with fresh ice in the 3rd. Moving on to the 3rd period. The Canucks not only failed to score during the full 2-minute stretch, but were also unable to register a shot for a 2nd straight power play. This is starting to sound like the Vancouver Canucks power play with their lack of shots. That's not a good sign. And with little happening, they got into serious penalty troubles, although it felt like the game slipped away from them. Artur Silovs continued to hold up his end of the bargain as he waited for his team to build up a comeback. But Sammy Blake continued to take penalties, wasting valuable time for his team, and received a 10-minute misconduct. It's the second game of the series where Blake lost his cool to grab either a 10-minute penalty or a game misconduct, but again, Silovs was doing everything he could to keep things where they were, not once, but twice. Those saves proved huge as the Canucks finally brought some life in the back half of the frame. Abbotsford would score to make it 3-1. Nate Smith from Jujhar Khaira off the offensive zone faceoff. Jujhar Khaira protected the puck on the wraparound, sending the puck toward the net. Fighting for possession was Nate Smith, who cleaned up the rebound to cut the deficit to 2 goals. The Canucks did pull their netminder with roughly 3 minutes remaining in an attempt to score 2 and even the score. Unfortunately, they notched just 4 shots on goal and could not find any offense. The bad news, the Abbotsford Canucks dropped this one after a sloppy game. The good news is that their season continues with one last attempt to continue in a do-or-die Game 5. Final shots in the game were 30-25 in favor of Colorado. What's next? This series will see a do-or-die Game 5, which will occur at an unusual time on Monday afternoon. The puck drops at 2:05 p.m. Pacific for a Memorial Day matinee. So there you guys go. Game 4, the Abbotsford Canucks come up short and are unable to advance to the Western Conference Final. They allow the Colorado Eagles to tie up the series. And now, as we just mentioned, a do-or-die Game 5 on Monday. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of this game. Do you agree with Dave Hall and his assessment that this was a very sloppy game from the the Abbotsford Canucks? What are your guys' thoughts on the 30 straight penalties killed streak finally coming to an end? Also, what are your guys' thoughts on the fact that they were able to get to 30, which is still mind-blowing? And as what Dave Hall wrote, what a run of penalty kill streaks. Keep in mind that dates back to the beginning of the playoffs. But once again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. And are you guys worried, anxious about Game 5? Once again, let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button, as you really help out the channel and continue to support the channel. Also, turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss a single video. Also, if you want to find us on social media, interact with us, chat, talk with us on there. Go ahead and find us on Facebook. You can find us at our Facebook page. Just search The Line Change. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can also find us on Twitter/X at Line Change Van. You can also find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po, as well as feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For Spotify, go ahead and give us a follow if you choose to do, if you wish. It is, of course, greatly appreciated if you do, as well as rating and reviewing us on Spotify. It also helps support us. And as always, go Canucks, go Abbotsford. Let's hope they can lock it down on Monday against the Colorado Eagles and advance to the Western Conference Final. And I'll see you guys in the next video.